Hello, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. I am diving into a little bit of, I don't know, I felt really cool to do this episode. So I'm just going with it. As you know, if you're a regular listener to the show, I literally just go with the flow. These are very kind of scrappy episodes that I put together. There is no script, there is no polishing, there are no sort of set bullet points or anything I follow. I record most of these episodes with my eyes shut. Like I'm literally speaking from my soul when I share these episodes. So I hope you enjoy them. If you are enjoying them, let me know. Because that would help me. Equally, if you're not enjoying them, don't listen to them. Don't feel like you need to message me to say they're crap. Hopefully you wouldn't do that anyway, because I only tend to attract nice people. Now, today's episode, I really wanted to talk about the highs and lows of business. And I think, particularly in the online space, it is very easy to focus on seeing all of the wins, the huge milestones, the sold out launches. But the thing that we don't hear enough of, I think, are the lows, those dips, the launches that didn't go to plan, the moments that you wonder, is this even worth it? And the truth is that those lows, those dips in your business growth, it's never a sign that you're failing, ever, 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 ever. If anything happens and a launch doesn't go to plan, or that client doesn't say yes, or you get told no for something, anything that happens with that, it is not a sign you're failing, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that your offer isn't amazing. It's all part of the what I would call like the rhythm of your business. And in this episode, I wanted to go kind of behind the scenes and bring back that curtain on what I refer to with my clients as the yin yang approach to launching and scaling your business. And it's understanding that failure and success are two sides of the same coin in business. And you can expect the setbacks, but you can also trust that your next offer, the next launch you put out there, the next move that you have to make has every single potential to be your biggest win yet. And I want to talk about embracing both energies, the yin of the surrender and the reflection, and also the yang of the action and that forward momentum to keep you going so that you can stop seeing any dips as the end or that things aren't working and instead see them as a kind of a starting point or a reflection for the next expansion in your business. So I want to just share with you some examples of my own sort of past experiences of this yin yang of business approach. Now, I've been a people pleaser like my whole life. I've always wanted people to tell me I've done a good job. I've always wanted to make other people feel good, to like I hate any form of negativity, bitching, all of that kind of thing just is not my vibe at all. Like I'm allergic to it. Get me out of here. I don't like confrontation or anything. I am very heart-led. I'm an empath. I want my clients to win, and that's meant that I have gone into kind of over delivering. I mean, it's no wonder my clients have 100% success rate when they work with me because I literally go above and beyond. I want every single one of my clients to win, to come away knowing that that was like one of the best investments, if not the best investment that they have made, not just in their business, but also their personal growth as well. Like that to me is really amazing. And some people would see that and say, I'm over giving, I'm doing too much, like I should be charging more, blah, 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 blah. For me at the moment, that's just how I am. Like it is how I've always been. And it is something I'm looking to kind of be a bit more focused on and really being clear. I've got very clear boundaries, but being a bit less of a people pleaser. But it's just something that's in me. It's just me. It's just who I am. I want to see other people win. It is what my soul's purpose is. I'm here to empower others. But what I have done in the past, because I am that kind of person, is facing rejection of any form, facing a launch not going to plan, facing a client saying no, facing a opportunity that I maybe overthought and really put myself out there and getting told no. Like all of those things in the past have had a huge knock on my confidence, my self-esteem, my ego. And every time that happened, in particularly in the earlier stages of my business, I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years now. But when that used to happen in the earlier stages of my business, I'd give up. I would literally put myself out there for an opportunity, get told no, and it would be like walls up. I'm never doing that again. That felt so uncomfortable to do that in the first place, to then face the rejection as well. It was just like a whole downward spiral. Equally, putting my heart and soul into a launch, like creating a course, putting everything into the videos, putting everything into the content, making sure that it was going to create incredible transformation, doing the big build up, doing the live launching, the time, effort, energy, love, tears, everything that went into a launch to not even get a single sale, and feeling like a failure, pulling that course and saying it just was never going to work. Now, that was me in the past, 100%. Every single time I had any kind of rejection or fail, I would give up there and then, because I saw that as okay, well, I might as well just like forget about it. It's not worked. Whereas now, because I have always taken any fail in my business or any sort of rejection or setback that I've faced, I've taken it as an opportunity to reflect and learn. What can you learn from the last rejection you had? What can you learn from the last no that you had? What can you learn from the last launch you put out there that didn't go according to plan? You can always learn from every single yin or that dip in your business, any stunt in your growth, like anything, you can always learn from it. There are always lessons that will help you to tweak something, to help you to do things differently, or to see what maybe did or didn't work, or what felt good to you as well. Like, I'm a true believer in business should be fun. Business absolutely should be fun. There will always be tough days, tough times in your business growth, but I do believe there should be fun in everything. So if you are launching something you are so passionate about, and yet the actual launch part of it is triggering you, making you feel overwhelmed, making you feel stressed, exhausted, think about the energy you are then putting into that launch of that particular thing. So you've got the high energy, the passion, the love, the drive, everything into the offer you have. So the energy behind the offer is incredible. The offer behind the launch, however, because you're perhaps out of alignment with how you're launching, is the stress, it's the negative energy. It's literally draining the energy from what is behind your offer that you're trying to promote. So when you have this drain of energy, you've got this energetic leak, it is no wonder it is not going to work. It's no wonder you face the rejection, because that is the energy you're actually putting out there. You're putting out negative energy, so you're reflecting negative energy back to you. And I'm a true believer in that we can all be visible, we can all market our business, we can all do launches in our own way that works for us, but it's testing and experiencing those lows that allows you to find out what is aligned to you. So I work with people who are in the very much the scaling stage of their business, who have so much confidence in what it is they do. They've got a lot of expertise, they've had clients, or they've just been in their industry for a long time. They know what they're doing. Marketing themselves, however, is a very different game. They really struggle with actually getting themselves out there, getting themselves visible, getting more eyes on what it is that they do, so that they can obviously bring in more clients, because there's only so much your network can do for you, the referrals and relying on returning clients, that kind of thing. When you're marketing yourself online, you broaden the opportunities. You literally open yourself up to bringing in people across the world, depending on what your business is and how it works. But you can literally open up to pulling people from across the world. You've got millions of people there that are available to you. Whereas when you're relying solely on your network, you've really limited how many opportunities there are for yourself. You're really limited to what is available in the people that you know and that know you, and in those kind of smaller circles. So I always like to help people to see the potential in being visible online in a way that feels good to them, and in a way that really lights them up and positions them as a category of one in their niche. I'm not talking about in your industry, because in your industry, you can be one of the leaders, but there will be so many different types of leaders that will show up in so many different types of ways, with different offers, with different backgrounds, different expertise, different personalities, different personal brands. It's about being a category of one in your niche. So in your niche, I'm referring to what you do, how you help your clients, your expertise, your personality, the kind of clients you want to be calling in, your pricing, your offers, all of that. That is what your niche is. It's being really clear on what that is for your audience, for like who you are. So when it comes to actually finding the aligned way to be visible, to launch, you need to have experienced different types of launches. So you cannot come to me and tell me live launching just isn't for me. if you've never actually done it, because that is how you're going to learn what works for you. Now, I would have never in a million years said to myself that, or I would never have said out loud, I'm going to have a podcast, I'm going to be speaking on stages, I'm going to be speaking and hosting trainings inside different groups, I'm going to be speaking at retreats, sharing my expertise. A few years ago, there is no way in hell I would have done that, because I didn't have the confidence. I would have said to myself, I'm not good at speaking out loud. I'll stumble over my words. I talk too fast. There's other people that are way more confident at me than delivering. Like, it just was not something I would have done. But had I not have experienced that very first time of doing it, I would never have known that actually it's in full alignment to me to be visible by speaking, by sharing my voice. So you have to experience things to find out what does and also what doesn't work. And this is the whole thing with the yin yang of business. It's really about embracing the lows as part of the wins and seeing every low or every setback as an opportunity to learn and to be able to do things better next time, and to see what really made you feel uncomfortable, but in a way that uncomfortable as in absolutely my entire body was just like repelling this thing, or uncomfortable as in feels scary, but actually it's worked really well. So it's about reflecting. Now, it's also really important to acknowledge how lonely and how disheartening it can feel when things don't go to plan. When you have put everything into what it is that you're doing, when you have, maybe you've invested in a course or a coach that has supported you with creating this perfect package, this perfect offer, combining all of your expertise or even one area of your expertise into this thing. You've been supported fully in getting this thing out there. You've been supported fully in knowing that this offer is going to absolutely change lives when you get the clients inside it. And yet you put it out there and it's tumbleweed. Literally, just nobody's interested, nobody's reaching out, nobody's buying it. And it can feel so disheartening and lonely when you've put everything into it. And it's so easy to think, it's not going to work, I'm not destined for success, seeing the wins of others and letting that trigger you because it didn't work for you. But I want you to reframe whenever you are in that situation where something hasn't worked, to know that this is not failure. This is business. It's literally business. Every single leader you see out there who is smashing it, who shares the screenshots, who has the lifestyle you could only currently dream of, they have all failed more times than you could possibly imagine. And even now, I know many, many, many multi-6, 7, even 8-figure leaders who you see online sharing their incredible life, their incredible wins, who still even now experience failed launches. It is part of business. And the more you realize that as an entrepreneur, the more you can see, okay, this is a lesson. It's a way for me to learn how to do things differently. It's the yin balancing the yang in business. And it's about really helping you to ride the waves and also appreciating the falls that come off the other side of it. So this is about the natural cycles of business, because you will get ups and downs. It is a roller coaster. It is never going to just continuously go up. You will face dips. It's just some dips may be bigger than others. And the first few dips you do experience are as uncomfortable as you could possibly imagine. It literally makes your entire body feel like you're a failure, like giving up, like what is even the point? You put everything into it, it didn't work. But it's about really embracing the fact that, okay, it didn't work this time. Because if you know that your offer is going to impact or change lives, then you know it needs to be out there. It's just a way of reflecting on, could it be the type of launch I did? Could it be the messaging behind it? Could it be how I've positioned myself? Could it be that the offer is incredible, but my brand isn't actually positioning myself as an expert yet? How could I make that better? How could I stand out as someone that people, when they come across me for the first time, instantly see and feel me as the one, as the expert? So it then makes that offer more irresistible. And this is especially important if you want to be charging a premium price for your offers, because most higher paying clients, particularly the ones that are ready to pay in full, they're going to buy from somebody that they already know and trust, who they know they want to work with, and who offers something, and they are like, yes, I need to buy this thing. It's amazing. I need to work with her. I already know her. Then you've got the other high ticket buyers who will come across somebody for the very first time, having known nothing about them, who instantly feel a connection, who instantly, through how that person shows up, through how they deliver content, through their brand positioning, through their energy, through their visuals, instantly feel pulled towards that person because they're speaking to their soul. That then makes that offer they're putting out there irresistible and do you know what? That sounds amazing. I already get a really good vibe off this person. I'm in. If you imagine the very first piece of content that someone who has never heard from you before is your offer, and there's maybe somebody that's come across your offer that thinks, oh, that sounds quite interesting. Let's just have a look. And they head to your profile. If your profile is filled with snapshots, outdated content, a real mix of stuff, it's just not giving that kind of expert, strong brand vibe, you're instantly making them doubt their next decision. So that person could have gone from I'm intrigued, I want to know more about this person, to an instant, she's nice, maybe later. What you want to happen is the opposite. You want people to come to your profile, which is your shop window, whether it is your website or your social media account or your LinkedIn profile. You want them to come to your profile and instantly, in that first split second, feel like this is the person for me. And the way you do that is through your brand positioning. Now, I obviously talk about brand positioning a lot in various episodes. If you want any support with that, then you can go to the show notes below and see ways to work with me. But I really want to get back on track with appreciating the yin yang of your business and understanding that success in business doesn't come in a straight line, that dips are actually what create the momentum for the future peaks, those big waves that will go up. And it's kind of like, if you picture the seasons, let's just think about this in terms of nature. So we are designed as humans and animals as well to go into kind of a hibernation phase. Now, I learned this when I went to a event last winter, I think it was. I can't even remember who it was that said it now, but I learned this last year anyway. And they talked about how we're actually designed to hibernate in winter. So we're not meant to be in full force, launching, full on business mode, like doing all of the things in the winter season. In fact, we're not meant to be doing much at all between sort of the end of October, beginning of November through till March. Like that is a quieter time for reflection. And when you think about it in nature, it's exactly the same. So I'm currently recording this 17th of September, so we're mid-September now, and the leaves are starting to turn on the trees. So already in nature, it's getting ready to prepare for that recharge period, that season of like just calm and still and resetting, ready for a new year, ready to burst into life again come the spring. So you've got all the leaves that change color. They're starting to drop from the trees. You will end up with the wintry kind of scenes where the flowers aren't really out, and everything just goes kind of quieter, doesn't it, in terms of nature. You haven't got those bursts of color everywhere. You've got the bare trees around. You've got your beautiful blooms that were out in full force over the summer that are now kind of twigs. Like it's just getting to that time of year. And it's exactly the same in our personal lives as well as in our business. Like there's going to be different seasons. There will be seasons of natural pauses of where things are contracting and then it expands again. And it's about really embracing that yin time, which is the pause and reflection, and what you actually do in those moments when you feel stuck, when things feel like they're really hard or that they're not working. And the best thing you can do in those times is to rest, is to reflect and to recalibrate, and extracting those lessons without attaching any shame into the fact that something hasn't worked, into the fact that you maybe have felt rejected. And also reflecting on one thing I really want to touch on here is rejection, because rejection is hard, especially if it has been a person who has potentially rejected you. And it's never anything about you. The majority of the time is it's a business thing. Like somebody may have rejected you because they currently aren't in a position to invest in working with you. They might have rejected you because actually, in terms of their values, in terms of their boundaries, in terms of their business, it's not quite aligned to what they're creating. They might have rejected you because it's not the right time for them, because they're about to go on holiday, or they're about to launch something, or they're just in a really busy period of their business, or the opposite, they might be in a really quiet period and it's just not the right time for them at the moment. Any rejection like that is never anything about you, ever. It's just not. It's always about you understanding why you might be feeling rejected. Like, what is it about that no, or that fail, or that decision that somebody else or something else has made that has made you feel triggered, that has made you feel like you've been rejected? Like, where does that stem from? And I know from doing a lot of this work myself in uncovering limiting beliefs, is the majority of the times it stems right the way back to an experience you had between the ages of 0 and 7. So when you feel that inner thing in your body where somebody's told you no, where you've put yourself out there and it's just not been aligned and you heard no, and you felt in your body like massively triggered, maybe it's upset you, maybe it has left you feeling really bitter towards that person, what can you see from your past? And there will be ways of doing this. You can do this with hypnosis, you can do it with belief coding, you can do it with timeline therapy. They're all more or less the same thing. And it's kind of where you go into like a hypnosis state where you literally go back into your subconscious mind to where the root cause of that belief has come from. So it could be a belief around you don't feel worthy, you don't feel good enough, you feel like you don't feel loved, or you believe that you need to hear yes in order to feel valued. It, like, whatever that belief is, that will stem from an experience you had between the ages of 0 and 7. So what you can do in the time when you're feeling rejection is to, first of all, work on your own mindset. Mindset is such a powerful thing. It can literally make or break your business. It can make or break your confidence and everything in your life. And it's something that I work on all the time. So I do more and more of this every single day. I actually work on uncovering limiting beliefs at least once or twice a week, because there will always be something that comes up in my week that has made me feel a bit uncomfortable. And it might be something I've heard, it could be a conversation, it could be a post that I've maybe seen that's made me feel a bit like uneasy in myself or has triggered me in some way. So then I work on the limiting beliefs, or like I reflect on, why have I felt this way? What is that actually? Why has that made me feel like that? Where am I feeling that in my body? How can I uncover this? How can I unpick this? And it's about rewiring your subconscious mind, your limiting beliefs, your nervous system, and making sure that you are able to then move forward and understand where that has come from. Now, I just want to share really quickly, I've had an experience of this year actually. So rejected. I said no to somebody, and saying no to somebody is really uncomfortable for me, whether it is somebody inviting me to do something with them that doesn't feel good or isn't the right time, or me saying no to somebody who has asked to be part of something with me, who's asked to collaborate with me. And it's just, there's been something that's not been quite right. So I actually said no to somebody earlier this year. And I overthought it because I'm an empath. I really feel other people and their feelings and their beliefs and everything. So I said no to somebody earlier this year. I overthought my response for saying no so much because I felt so uncomfortable actually saying it. But I also knew that it was the right thing for my business. I knew that it was the right decision to make. So I said no in a very polite way. Now, this person got very sort of triggered by it. It obviously upset them. I didn't actually know this until months down the line. But it upset them to the point where they felt so triggered, and it caused a lot of negativity in various spaces that I'm in, because it's all come back to me now. And it led to a lot of kind of not very nice comments that were said about me in other spaces. Now, I have just kind of moved on from this whole situation, but I just want to reflect on that particular thing, because when I work with my clients, when I notice these kinds of dips in their mindset, I can help them to work through them, to understand why they're feeling this way. Now, when I work with clients, they're not all going to hear a yes with a new lead when it comes to work with them. They're never going to get it. Like, you're always going to get someone that says no, but it's about working through those no's and understanding that it's never about them, and how they can work through that in terms of reprogramming their subconscious mind and their limiting beliefs to help them move forward. Because you're going to experience no's, you're going to experience rejection, you're going to experience failed launches, you're going to experience people not buying your ticket to your event or signing up to your course when they said they were going to. Like, you're going to get that. It's literally the yin and the yang of growing your business. Now, the yang, flipping on the other side of it, is the action and how you're going to move forward. It's how you're going to respond after that pause, after a setback. And it's about trying again with a whole new energy, with new insights, having looked back at what has happened, what worked, what didn't work, what felt good, what didn't feel good, and leaning into being really kind of creative and also quite bold and building on that resilience so that you can go and get it out there again. Because hearing no from somebody, or perhaps you've put an offer out there that you're so passionate about, you know it's going to help others, and maybe your launch didn't go to plan. That doesn't mean it's not going to go to plan next time, because you can do things differently. You can learn from it. And it's when I say about the yin yang, it's a really strange thing, because when you're running a business, you need to be able to understand that the no's, the setbacks, the fails are part of it. So you almost need to go in expecting the fails in terms of like your long-term business plan, because they're going to happen. But equally, with each launch, you need to expect it to work. So it's like you've got the long-term thing of knowing that you're going to have fails, but going into every single launch that you do with that full belief, that full body, this is amazing, high energy, really focusing on your energy behind it. Because how you show up, how you deliver your content, how you deliver your training, your challenge, the live that you're doing, like whatever kind of launch you're doing, the energy behind it is so essential in order to make it work. If there's any negative energy there, if you're feeling like things aren't working, if you feel like it's hard, if you've got all this inner body resistance to it, you're literally making things so much harder for yourself. So it's about really setting your energy up to succeed, to know when you go into a launch, this is going to be amazing. Like, I'm going to sell out this program. I am going to get the absolute dreamboat clients into this program, believing that it's already done, and showing up in a way that is aligned to the version of you who already knows that it's done, showing up as the version of you who's already sold out that program. Now, that may be that even with that energy, even with the amazing offer, even with the amazing messaging, that when you do a launch with the right energy, everything's aligned, you may still experience not enough people saying yes, and you may still feel that rejection. But it's then about knowing that that offer, because you're so passionate about it, is going to work, it is going to sell, you are going to get the right people in there. It might not be your current reality, but you know it's coming. And it's about consistently, continuously showing up with that kind of energy, knowing it's already done. Because when it is the right time, when you are completely aligned to the energy of the woman who attracts, who has already sold out that program, things will start to happen, opportunities will start to come up, you will get new people join your network, you'll get new people follow you, you'll get new people join your mailing list, you'll get new people listening to your podcast. Like, all of these different things will start to happen that will lead to conversations, that will lead to people coming across you for the first time and saying yes. It will lead to new things. So never see the setbacks or the current situation, if you are currently going through a bit of a dip, in a pause, in a block in your business, as the end. It's always about seeing it as a new beginning, because you learn from each fail to do things differently and to make it better next time. So expect failure as a sign of growth. Yeah. And really reframe any form of like failure that you're seeing as proof that you're in the game, that you're taking the risks, that you're testing, and you're evolving. Because when you experience a failure, it's almost always followed by a win on the other side of it. It's just most people will experience the failure and never do it again. So they never actually get to experience that win. So every single successful entrepreneur you see in the online space has failed. I'm doing like quotation mark things more times than they've won. And I just want to end this with I want you to understand that failure is data, not like definition. It's not defining who you are or your worth. It's about data. It's about opportunity. It's about space to expand and grow. Now, when you are in those lows, I want you to work on these things here. I'm just going to give you some things that you can work on. I want you, first of all, to ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What lessons can you learn from this current low if you're experiencing one, or if you may experience one in the future? Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What am I making this mean about me? I want you to also write down any limiting beliefs that are coming up for you right now, any beliefs that you currently have about you or that you're making this mean about you, about your worth or about your ability or about how good you are. Write them all down on a piece of paper. And then I want you to cross them out and write the complete opposite to turn it into a positive that is actually fact. So instead of it being like, I don't feel good enough to achieve success, you could put next to it, I am so worthy of achieving the success that I desire. Literally turn every single negative into a positive. It's a really good exercise. Writing it on paper gets it out of your head and it makes it reality. Even if you want to take it one step further, speak it out loud. I want you to ground yourself. Your energy, your nervous system regulation, your mindset is so powerful. You cannot, like, until you've done this work and you've experienced the shifts that happen once you've worked on your nervous system and continuously worked on it, because it's not a done and dusted thing. This is an ongoing thing that you need to be working on. You need to really focus on, and I'm not talking about mindset. When I say mindset, I'm not just saying do some affirmations and talk in the mirror. Like, I'm talking about real deep mindset blocks here. I'm talking about uncovering limiting beliefs. I'm talking about setting your nervous system up for success, because if any part of your nervous system feels unsafe to receive, you're basically going to be blocking and self-sabotaging yourself at every single step. So this was something that I learned myself. I've done a podcast episode on this already, talking about nervous system. Now, I experienced a really good win this year, really good month. My nervous system wasn't set up to feel safe to hold it. So I literally got rid of it all. It was gone within 48 hours. If your nervous system doesn't feel safe to hold more clients, to hold more money, to hold wealth, to hold the opportunity that you've been given, it will self-sabotage at every single level. So it's about really reprogramming and helping your limiting belief, overcoming your limiting beliefs, helping your subconscious mind, and setting your nervous system up for success so that you can actually receive and hold it. Because if you don't feel safe to hold it, or if your nervous system doesn't feel safe to hold it, you won't be able to. So ground yourself, do your breath work, really close your eyes and just ask yourself, because your subconscious mind will answer. You know, when you have like instant gut feeling in your body with anything, that is literally your subconscious talking to you. So if you closed your eyes, did your breath work, if you're listening to some kind of frequency audio, or even do a guided hypnosis, ask your subconscious mind, and you can literally stand there with your eyes closed, hand on your heart, hand on your stomach, and just say, subconscious mind, why am I feeling uncomfortable right now? And you might get an answer that comes to you straight away in your head, or it might be it takes a few minutes for it to come. Just keep asking yourself and just see what comes up for you, because you'll be amazed at what actually does come up for you and the conversation you can have with yourself. It might feel weird the first time you do this, but trust me, it works. So ground yourself, really reset your energy. And I want you to get back into alignment before you make any other decisions. So before you go into I don't know, let's just say as an example, before you go online and share, oh, my launch failed, everything's terrible, blah, 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 like all this stuff, before you do that, before you reach out to that friend and say, I'm feeling like this because XYZ hasn't happened, or before you just do a random offer that you want to put out there because you need to get some income, or before you send an email out to your list to talk about your offer in a way that feels uncomfortable and it comes across as being kind of not desperate, but in a way that's just you need to get that client in, basically, because people can feel it in your energy. Before you make any other decisions, I want you to get back into alignment before you move on to that next move. So what feels good to you? What is it that you want? Do you really want the things you thought you did in terms of that program, that course, that offer that you've put out there? Or could you tweak something? Is it that actually you had in your head that you wanted to get 15 people into your program, and actually it would feel more comfortable to have 10? Is it you wanted to have a membership with 100 people in, and actually it would feel more comfortable with 50? Like, what feels good to you? Get back into alignment before you make more decisions and before you take that next move. And I want you to remember, just to finish this episode off, that even if you have launched something that you feel passionate about before and it didn't work, your next launch could literally be the one thing that shifts everything for you. It could be the one thing that completely changes your life. And just remember that any dips in your journey are not the end. They're literally preparing you for that next step. It's helping you to learn, to expand, to help you to come away with things that you didn't already know, that you now do know, and allow you to move forward. Yeah. So embrace and lean into both the yin and the yang of business so that you can raise higher, so that you can really build that resilience and self-trust in yourself. And if you would love to work with someone that can help you hold your hand, support you through launches, support you with standing out online, help you with getting more eyes on your business in a way that feels good, because I don't want anybody ever feeling like they have to show up in a certain way because that's what they've been advised to do. I will only ever advise my clients to show up in a way that feels good to them, that is actually in alignment, that is actually going to work, move the needle, get people into their offers, and make them more money. We're all here to run a business to make money. That's it. That's what business is. So if you would like to find out more about working with me, head to the show notes below and you will see all the different ways that you can do that. Or obviously drop into my podcast episodes where I've got loads of value in there in all different things to do with scaling your brand. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please leave a review if you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Mwah.